What up, big kids? This is my spoiler discussion of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. So if you haven't seen the movie, it's been out for a couple weeks, but I've been wanting to do this video, so don't watch this if you haven't seen the movie, or if you don't care about spoilers, then go on. But yeah, we're going to talk about what most people aren't talking about in Batman v Superman, and must there be a Superman? Now, while I'm getting into that, there's been so much talk about this movie. It's divided fans. You know, I was very lucky that I got to see this movie early and got to see it without any critics telling me, you know, I should love this or should hate this, you know, and I was very shocked how much this movie has divided people. I knew going in with, you know, how much people divided with Man of Steel, which I absolutely love that movie. And so, like, my favorite Superman movie, and that's saying a lot. And I love the Christopher Reeve Superman. He is one of the defining Supermans of all time. But I love Henry Cavill and Zack Snyder's take on Superman, and I want to get into some major discussion about Superman, particularly in Batman v Superman, because we could talk about, oh, this movie made no sense, or like Lex Luthor is like with Jesse Eisenberg was awful, or Batman kills, and we can talk about that, like a whole discussion, and I'll actually get into that with this discussion. But yeah, so must there be a Superman? That's a major discussion talked in the movie. The movie really deals deep in Superman, how relevant he is in society, and not only in this movie, but also just in society as a whole. To us comic fans, Superman, I think, doesn't get enough love. Yeah, that's saying a lot for one of the oldest superhero of all time. Superman has been around for like 78 years now. So yeah, Superman was the defining superhero that made, you know, before Batman, who came a year later, and then, you know, Wonder Woman and Spider-Man, Iron Man, all these characters, we had Superman. And he's definitely a product of the time. He was created by two Jewish guys that definitely took a lot of, you know, things from the Bible, you know, whether it's Jesus or Moses, a guy, immigrant, an alien immigrant brought to this world to help save humanity. That sounds very religious in ways, and they definitely touch upon this a lot in the movie. People forget to talk about that kind of aspect in this movie, and that's something that really stuck a nerve with me. Must there be Superman? Just like must there be Jesus? Must there be God? Must there be anything? And I'm not even trying to talk more about the religious comparisons to Superman, but just the idea of a Superman. The idea of this alien that's coming to Earth with all these powers. He can fly, he's pretty much invulnerable, but he's there saving people. And you have this great discussion in the movie with a lot of real people talking about, you know, him being a messiah figure, or him being like a devil, or is he just a guy that's trying to do the right thing? And he is. Superman is not Jesus. Superman is not God. Superman is a man that is super, you know. That is why he's called Superman. Yes, he's a Kryptonian that's indestructible unless you find a green rock called kryptonite, and most people say that's not relatable. But you know what? Spider-Man has superpowers. Captain America has superpowers. So many Marvel heroes and so many DC heroes have superpowers, but they're very relatable. And even though Batman is human, we're not billionaires. Superman, as Clark Kent, works a normal 9-to-5 job, or just a normal job, that he's just, you know, living in an apartment with his girlfriend. And I feel like he is trying to, you know, just find his place in the world. And that's something I really love about this movie. He's trying to find his place in this world. He's trying to find where he belongs, being an immigrant. He is an immigrant from a whole different planet, a world that doesn't exist anymore. And he's trying to find his place in the world. And I feel like that's way more relatable to Batman. Not only, you know, Batman lost both his parents and shot him. Not a lot of people go through that tragedy. But Superman not only lost his family, his world before as a baby. So he was very lucky not to know that aspect until later on. But Jonathan Kent, which I'll get more into Jonathan in a bit, but you know, he saw his father sacrifice his life, his secret identity, so you know, he wouldn't be like, consumed by the world and their hate or their ignorance of what he is. And that's really something I loved about Man of Steel. Now, the whole thing with Superman trying to do the right thing and being a man, just, is a great example is the Capitol scene where he's about to talk. He's there. He's ready to, speak about what happened with the desert earlier in the film and all that stuff. And then, of course, Lex Luthor's plan is to sacrifice that one guy that hates him for being in the crossfire of, the Zod fight that caused him to lose his legs. But then, lo and behold, he is a bomb that literally kills dozens upon dozens of people in that Capitol. And you can see the face of Superman. And there's a line in there that really stuck with me, that really gets me. When after that happens and Superman goes to Lois, he says, I didn't see it, Lo. It's because I wasn't looking. Because Superman wasn't trying to look at people, even though that guy was there hating him, wanting him to speak for himself what happened, and pretty much condemn him. He wasn't looking for anything that was gonna be like a bomb or he didn't think of it as there's something bad that's gonna happen. And that's a lot of us that. We don't want to go into a situation thinking the stuff that happens, like the bombs in movie theaters or all these public places that happened recently. We don't want to go in thinking that someone can be a terrorist and detonate a bomb. There's that possibility, but if you go in with that fear or that bad thinking that someone's out there to kill us, it's we don't feel safe anywhere. And Superman's not going in looking at these people as his enemy, even the people that are condemning him. And that really stuck to me, that he wasn't looking, he wasn't trying to x-ray vision people into thinking what there is, but he feels the weight of that, because it's how do you go in thinking the good of people, but at the same time knowing something can happen, and when you're dealing with that consequences of that. And that was such a hard thing, it's how can you go in thinking that people are bad and you could have got rid of him, but then it's okay, should he not think the worst of people? And then that line right after that with Lois saying this means something, it's all people have. And when he's saying it did in my world doesn't exist anymore. And that was a really powerful thing to me. That just showed Superman, like I said, what he stands for, what he's trying to do good. He's damned if he's do, damned if he doesn't. He is just trying to do the right thing. And there's so much that people can relate to in that. When you're even being on YouTube, I feel that is no matter what I say, no matter I do whatever I try to do to make people happy or give them the videos they want, it's doesn't matter. It's if I do a certain type of review, people always why didn't you review this? Or if I say this, I like something, it's yeah. So I feel that so much. It's it's so hard to go in with that way of thinking, because you can't make anyone happy. I mean, you can't make everyone happy. It's no matter how much people love you, there's someone that hates you. And that's something that the movie really delves deep in, that people don't really discuss. Now, going back to Jonathan Kent, shortly after that, there's a scene where Superman, or Clark, is going down a mountain, and he sees Jonathan Kent. Now, this is obviously in his mind, but Kevin Costner's small cameo in that movie really was impactful. He talks about how, he was saving the farm from this rain, and he worked all night, and he got even, not only did he save the farm, but he got rewarded for it. But then he learned that the Lang farm got flooded from saving, moving the water to a different place, and that they killed their horses. And that really relates back to what happened with Jonathan to Superman. It's even if you're trying to do the best, with say Zod, trying to stop him, the collateral damage that it goes, it's very mirroring that. And and Superman knowing, just what happened at the Capitol thing, how do you how do you deal with did the nightmares ever stop? And it did when he met his mother. Like, she was my world and missing. And keep that in mind. It's like, you're my world. And yeah, that was such a powerful thing that hit me. Now we get into the big thing. Like with Batman and Superman fighting, there was a big thing where what stopped the fight after, because Superman is fighting Batman because Lex Luthor has his mother for ransom, and he wants him to kill Batman and bring, like, so he can get the kryptonite back to ultimately kill Superman. People didn't realize that. It's like he wanted to kill not only Batman to show that Superman is evil, but also that he can once use the kryptonite to kill him, or Doomsday. So, but and then Batman, if he killed Superman, he, that gets rid of him for Lex. But the whole thing that stopped the fight, Superman is trying to tell Batman, it's like, listen, dude, I just need your help because Lex Luthor has Martha and my mom, but he's not listening. Like the whole fight, I'm just feeling like for Superman, it's like, dude, he doesn't want to fight Batman. It's like, but Batman, because of how much Lex was like trying to make him hate Superman, and how much after the Capitol incident, it's like, I don't want to listen to this guy, he's bad, bad things happen, and Batman just set to kill him to save humanity. But the thing about humanity that stopped the fight was Superman, who's about to literally, like, he bleeds, tell me, do you bleed? You will. He did. And Superman bleeds, and his last breath, he's about to say, don't let him, like, you stop him, you don't let Martha die. It's like, and when I say Martha, why do you say that name? And then I think that a lot of people realize Martha was the name of Superman's mom and Batman's mom. But people think, oh, just because they have the same name, it stopped. No. The reason why Batman stopped, and he is realizing that Superman is, as much as he is an immigrant, an alien from another planet, he is human. He doesn't care that he's about to die. He just wants his mother to be safe. He wants Batman to save his mother. And it just makes Batman realize that Superman is good. He is human. He cares more about those people. He's not trying to do bad, and that it opens up Batman to realize that they both lost people, and they both care about people, and they don't want, Batman doesn't want to see Superman lose his Martha like Batman lost his. That was really powerful. But the most powerful thing was what happens later in the movie, the death of Superman. Yes, they went there. We knew with Superman and Doomsday being in the same movie, that could have happened, but I did not think they were going to do that. But the big thing that happens, like right before that, the big fight, the Kryptonian spirit that's about to kill Superman, he uses to kill Doomsday. And here's the thing, right before that, going back to what Jonathan Kent said, Superman says, I love you. This is my world. You are my world. And that always gets to me. That always, like, it just makes me love Superman. Why I love Superman. Why this means something to me. A man not of this world. A man who's could easily feel like he's above and rule the world. He loves a human. He loves humanity. And he literally takes that spear, drives into Doomsday. And the thing is, when Doomsday is stabbing him, he's trying to stop him still, and he pulls himself closer with Doomsday stabbing him to bring the Kryptonian spear and to end him. And then a powerful image of seeing Superman dead, and then the funeral, and you see his casket, and then the monument where you see all the people around. The men are still good, and it says, if you seek this monument, look around you, saying that this symbol is more than just a Kryptonian alien from another planet that can fly, is indestructible, super strength. This could be any of us. You can be Superman. So, must there be a Superman? Yes. We need a symbol of hope. We need to know that there's people out there, whether you have power or not, that will go out there, take all the hate in this world, and try to still show that there's good out there. That evil won't win, that there's good, no matter how much we try. And that's what this movie, it's also symbolic too, because I feel like Batman is a lot of people how they feel about this movie, and they just want to hate and they just want to end this movie. But look at what especially Superman is doing in this movie, what he does to sacrifice himself, and seeing how much people love him and how much good he does. There must be a Superman. Yes, there must be a Superman. And yeah, like the thing is, people are seeing like the dirt fly up. It's like, oh, he's coming back. Of course he's coming back. Just like in the comic books, he came back. Just like any superhero that dies, you know. And I don't know how they'll bring it back in Justice League, but either way, I just seeing that little airflow gives me a sense of hope that Superman will return, and that's all I wanted. His death was still impactful, and I just freaking love Superman. I love him, and I hope people would start talking about that. So thank you guys for joining me in this long discussion. And what do you think? Did you like the Superman's sacrifice in the movie? What do you think of the death of Superman? And do you think there must be a Superman? Let me know in the comments below. And for more, check out my website at SeanXLong.com. Like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, links in the description. I'm Sean Long, where I live long and live life. It's the Hot Toys DC Trinity. Oh yeah! Wait a second, you're not a Hot Toys. Well, technically I'm a Barbie, but I'm a pretty hot toy. Oh